Hi, my name is Lisa Ramirez, and I currently serve as the Director of the Office of Partnerships and Public Engagement at the U.S. Department of Agriculture. I am very proud to say that I received my bachelor's, master's, and doctorate at Texas Tech University, and I'm a very proud Red Raider. You know, when they called me about this, it just was so surprising and really humbling. It really is humbling to know that you're selected to do this, to receive this award. It's, I just really love Texas Tech, and it just has opened up different doors. So just to know that I was selected is just, I give a lot of thanks to God, and I'm filled with so much gratitude. I don't know who nominated me, but I just am so touched that they did that, and I hope that I represent Texas Tech well, always. So. I come from a very long line of agricultural migrant workers. So we moved constantly in search of agricultural work. Then I just thought it was just fancy to come to Lubbock. And I remember driving by Texas Tech, and I would see people walking to their classes, and I'd be looking at the window and think, wow, I wonder what those people do. I wonder, how do you get to do that? Oftentimes, people that work that circuit don't have an opportunity to continue their education. There's so many gaps because you move so much. And unfortunately, it's very easy for migrant workers to become invisible, and dropping out was more in line with what a lot of us do. Never really thought that I would have the opportunities that Texas Tech gave me to be where I am today. I owe so much to the U.S. Army, all of the opportunities that it brought to me, including being able to go to school on the GI Bill. In the state of Texas, we also had the Hazelwood, so that's actually how I got started at Texas Tech. Number one, they took into account the needs of the learners, of the students. They had very flexible hours. They had weekend courses, evening courses. I had some amazing professors. Dr. Hartmeister was my educational law professor, and he put the seed in my brain to want to understand the policy aspect of education. So when I went on to work on my doctorate and to receive my superintendency, I had Dr. Kyle Wargo was one of the instructors for us. And even though I've said this to him many times, he probably doesn't believe it. The things that he warned us about and said, you better be ready for this, you better be ready for that, you better anticipate this. Those are the things that helped me be successful at the national level when I was working at the U.S. Department of Education, because I worked there for several years. I was the Deputy Assistant Secretary for Policy and Program for all the programming K through 12 in the country. And it's the stuff I learned at Texas Tech that helped me be ready for that. So it's amazing. I think people don't really understand this gem we have at Texas Tech. As an undergrad, I never thought I would go into education, especially because my educational experience as an agriculture worker wasn't always positive. Because we would move so much, there wasn't a whole lot of investment by some of the educators into us. And so to think that I ended up in a field that was really promoting education is really very far from where I thought I would be. But while I was in undergrad, I pledged Kappa Delta Chi Service Sorority. And part of my service was providing tutoring out in East Lubbock at the Guadalupe Center. And I started working with students that had similar backgrounds to me, and I realized, like, I'm good at teaching someone something, and I enjoyed it. And I enjoyed working with young people and helping them to become successful. When I graduated, I actually started teaching at a school district that I had been kicked out of for assaulting the principal. And that principal became the superintendent of that district. And he is the man that kicked me out of the school district many years before, was the same wonderful man that gave me my first chance of teaching in his school district. I currently work for the U.S. Department of Agriculture, and I am so fortunate to work in the Office of Partnerships and Public Engagement. We, of course, have outreach out into all the different rural communities across the country. I have folks that are stationed at different universities across the country. So we have that aspect of it, but I also have the opportunity to work with our vets. And because I am prior service, I definitely have a heart for our veterans as they are transitioning into agriculture. That's an important piece. We get to work with beginning farmers, with female farmers, women farmers. We get to work with the K-12 realm of students that are just now learning where do they get their food. We feed the world, right? And at USDA, it's so beautiful to work there because we're part of everybody's life every day. And we're on the cutting edge of the research of everything that we're doing, and we help not just feed our country, but feed other countries. And I get to be part of that and build those partnerships and be engaged with the public in that realm. So, pretty exciting. The diversity of the professors, the different, just the different filters they're bringing to the learning is so powerful. I think it's because of those professors and their take on what they're teaching you helped me to travel the world. I have been to so many countries now, always looking at the educational aspect of it. And I think people shouldn't sleep on Texas Tech, because I've also, I've been very fortunate to have an opportunity to continue some of my learning at Harvard University. Texas Tech is someone to be dealt with for sure, so I love Texas Tech.